Hello friends. Today we'll discuss about one of the very common topic, the differences between the var and the let keyword. So I'll try to discuss there are two particular use cases where this keyword var and let behave slightly differently and try to declutter what is it is for you. For example, let's say we have a function get message which takes one argument as. And depending upon one condition, we are declaring one variable message, storing some value, and returning it. So whenever we are calling this get message with some values more than 30, greater than 30, for example 50 if you pass, then this high will be written. So if you want to store into some variable or print, then high will be written. Then what it will happen inside that if you try to pass something is less than 30, like for example a is equal 20, then this else block will be executed. Here if you try to access this message, then it will happen. But if you are coming from the C background or Java, so most of the time this should be an error because the message is not defined inside this block. The block is defined by this curly bracket. But here we define this variable inside this curly bracket, but it should not be available here, right? But instead of throwing an error, it will return a undefined. Undefined means there is no value it contains, but it is able to recognize that you have already defined this message somewhere in this program, So what basically happened, this is like in technical term very popularly known as hoisting. Don't get confused about the hoisting word. Hoisting is literally, it is the same meaning as flag hoisting. So you have a flag, so slowly if in the Independence Day some political leader will come and hoist the flag, then flag will go slowly on the top, right? Exactly the same meaning over here. This message variable is declared and initialized here. But under the hood, like message flag hosting, so it will go to the top, top level, not above this get message, but because it recognizes this message function also, but it will go till the top level, and this where message will be declared like here. At this moment, the function memory allocation will be already happen if you are using a where keyword. So then how much memory it needed, but it won't initialize the value, So if you try to access after that variable message, it will still print undefined. So in this line only, it will be initialized to high, but the message will be declared in this step. So for example, var message semicolon and message equal to high. This is exactly how it behave internally, right? So what is the problem on that? Because that may cause lots of unwanted issues. You declare a variable somewhere, you are expecting error some other place, or sometimes you initialize some other place. So it will code get messy and hard to debug issues, problem, other thing. So in the ES6 or ES6, which is launched in 2015, which is also known as ECMAScript 2015, 5-year break. So they introduced two keywords. One is let, another one is constant. The constant means once you define high, you cannot define any hello or something else. But let is exactly will do same as variable keyword, but with some little bit improvement to avoid these bugs or issues, So let's see how the let will behave. So for example, here, instead of where, we replace it by let, and we initialize here high. So in this case, this will be only declare or initialize only inside this block scope. Block means this is a curly bracket. Curly bracket is nothing known as block. If you don't have this curly bracket, this block would be this, this curly bracket, this function. If you define some other code, something like that. But if you define like if condition, for condition, or something like that, the block will be defined by this curly bracket. So whichever you available, the memory will be allocated there, it will be declared, it is initialized, and once you go out of that, then it won't have any reference to the message. The program doesn't know that you have declared any message variable also. So if you try to access this message variable here, instead of you getting a undefined, you'll get a reference error. It means the message is not defined. And this is a good scenario, you know, by mistake, if you define somewhere and if you get the error, you got an opportunity to fix it. And maybe you declare, if you need in the both the cases, then you may explicitly declare this let message into the top. So it won't create unwanted behavior, but rather a very systematic and consistent behavior here. Now see this example in action. So here we define this message like get message, what I already explained. If you pass a is greater than 30, for example, if you pass more than 30, so this variable will be initialized high and message will be written. So if you print this, then high should be printed. Let's, for example, let us uncomment it. So here we pass greater than 30, so high will be printed. So if you pass less than 30, for example, 20, then this else block will be executed. Then it is returning undefined, you know, undefined. It is not throwing an error. That is the difference of where keyword. But if you try to use let keyword, then it is a reference error. It is not a syntax error. Syntax error is in the compile time you can able to know that, but it is a reference error. Message is not defined, you know. Now, and if you do a programming, lot of ESLint and some other compiler or some kind of linting services will pick up very easily. So there is very less chance of introducing this kind of excess, this kind of error, you know. But better to know the conceptual understanding better, you know. Now let's see another differences between this var and let keyword. Not even var and let keyword. If you define this variable like with the same variable name, like var message equal to hello, right? And if you try to call this, use the same message using the let keyword with hi, this is possible because this message variable is, you know, created into the local scope. It does. If it is not possible, this message will refer to where keyword. But because if you define using the let keyword, so it is possible. But what I'm trying to say you, but if you declare and initialize this variable again inside the same scope, then this is not possible. Because inside one scope, this you should only define message using the let keyword only once. You should not declare two times. Right? Now let's see this example in action. Now here in this particular block, we have defined this variable two times. Variable message hello, hi. Then it is throwing this syntax error. Identify message has been already declared. But if you use this var keyword, so then there is no problem. It is returning hi, you know. But if you use let, inside the same scope, you should not declare twice. Got it? But if you try to declare it above scope, then there is no problem because you know, that message is available other else condition and after this, whereas this message is scoped is only here. Hi, you got it? If you, let's say, for example, if you do return message, if you greater than value, oh, that is less than below. Okay, I have gotten below 22. Then hello. Okay, I think this is even not needed. I was just trying to say that this message hello is getting you know, written. So even though you give a let over here, there is no problem. We can declare this let message hello here, and you know, we can access outside. But this will be overwritten that value because this is available inside this scope only. So let's see, if you do constant keyword, also it is possible, even though this message is available both the classes, but this constant keyword is scoped to this one. Okay, so what else I just explained? Okay. Inside that, if you define 2 times, but if you declare it 2 times, constant anyway is already declared, even though you can't use let also here. Let also the same message, identifier message has been declared already. So hope you learned something today. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye.